Hi, this is Stefan Gonik, Soulmate Attraction Mentor and Expert EFT Practitioner from FindingTheLoveYouWant.com. Welcome to Love Talk Q&A, the place to be to get your questions answered about finding and keeping the love of your life. At Love Talk Q&A, I get many questions from people asking how I could help them with their nervousness about going on a first date, or actually any date really. This is something that people struggle with a lot. I certainly had a lot of experiences of going on a date with somebody for the first time and feeling anxious and nervous and things like that. So we're going to talk about addressing this on two levels, a deeper level and an in-the-moment practical level. So at the deeper level, what we want to do is we want to think about or get in touch with what is really making us nervous when we go on the first date. Now, there's a lot of common answers to that question. So for instance, one of the most common ones is, I'm afraid this person's not going to like me. So I'm feeling anxious about that. It's kind of a fear of rejection kind of thing. So, of course it makes sense, that it's natural to want the other person to like us. But when we think about it, if it's a first date, we don't know actually if we like this person yet or not, right? And lots of times we want that reassurance of the other person liking us before we even know whether or not we like them. So it's kind of like, well, if I just know this person likes me, then I can relax, and then I can figure out if I like him or her, right? But when you think about it, the whole point of a date, particularly a first date, is just to see what it's like being together, to spend time, get to know each other, to see if it feels pleasurable being each other's company, to find out if I like the other person, and the other person is going to find out if they like me. It's an exploration. So, the idea of coming in from the very beginning going, I'm really scared this person's not going to like me, and I really want this person to like me, and I'm going to try and do what I can to get the person to like me. That stance, that mindset is a sabotaging one. It makes you nervous, and it makes you be unnatural, right? We want to just be our just totally natural, authentic selves, and just spend time together, get to know each other, and let the chips fall where they may. Maybe I'll not like this person. It's like, oh, nice person, but just doesn't really do it for me. Maybe the person will feel that way about me. Maybe neither of us will like each other. Maybe both of us will like each other. We don't know, and we'll find out what happens. And even if we think this person is pretty cool in advance, we still don't really know the person well enough to know whether or not we really want to be with him or her. So like I say, it's an exploration. And ideally what we do is we go in with an open mind, an open heart, and a place of just being relaxed and being our natural, authentic selves. And to recognize that, if this date doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of my story. There'll be other people to date. So the stakes really aren't that high. We can make them high if we're afraid of getting rejected, but it's not really about that. It's just about getting to know each other. Now, this is challenging, and there may be other things that are making you nervous before a first date, in addition to or other than being scared the other person's not going to like you. There could be things of feeling, unworthy or not deserving of being in a really good relationship. Or there can be potentially a bunch of different things. So this is the deeper work. So ideally what you want to do is sort of imagine being a first date, and then just write down everything you get in touch with. And then these are the things you're going to want to address, ideally in my mind with EFT or any method you want to use, to the point where you can kind of address them enough that you can relax and let go of these fears, these limiting beliefs, and just be yourself. So that's the long-term solution. And we're not going to try and do that in this video, but I'm just saying this is the kind of thing you can do in the long term to get more and more comfortable in a date, and then you can just be relaxed and it's all taken care of. Now, what if you're not there yet? What if you haven't started working on these deeper things yet, or you've been working on them, but you're only partway through it and you want to go on a date? So it's still there, it's still plaguing you. Well, there's this really cool EFT technique you can use while you are on the date, while you're spending time with this person. That's a very subtle form of EFT that many people are not aware of. Most people who know EFT are aware of the regular tapping points, which are top of the head, behind the eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, nose, chin, collarbone, things like that. So, if you're on a date and you're saying, so, what do you like doing for fun? And you're doing this, obviously that doesn't work. But there's another subtle form of tapping on some easy to hide tapping points. I'm going to show them right now. It's called fingertip tapping. So it turns out, in addition to the regular points on our face and body and things, there's another set of points on our fingertips, on the sides of our fingers. So if you have your thumb up and you look at your forefinger, there's a tapping point on the side of the fingernail right here. So it's right there on the side of the fingernail. And it's the same on every finger. So middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. That's where these tapping points are, right there, there, and there. And it turns out that if you bend your fingers, you'll notice that you can easily reach those tapping points with your thumb. So I can tap like that, then like that, then like that, then like that, and back again, back and forth. Okay? So there's these fingertip tapping points that are very easy to do. Once you start doing it for any length of time, it becomes totally automatic and you don't have to think about it. And you can do this while you're on a date. So for instance, you can kind of stand here with one hand behind your back and you can be tapping that way. Nobody will know what you're doing. A really good one is if you're sitting at a table with somebody having tea, say, something like that, you can just put one of your hands on the table. That's even easier. So you still look natural. You can have one hand on the table drinking your tea and your other hand is under the table and you're doing your fingertip tapping. And what this fingertip tapping will do is it soothes you. It helps release some of that anxiety and nervousness. And you don't need to use any words. I know in regular EFT we think about having our problem phrase and saying even though, and here's the problem, nervous on this date, something like that. You don't need to do that. Because when you think about it, those phrases, saying words at all the points, is to help you tune into the negative energy, into the negative feelings so that you can release them from while you're tapping. Well, if you're feeling nervous on the date, you're in the feelings. So you don't need words to help you be in the feelings. You're already feeling that nervousness. So there's nothing else you need to do. Just do some fingertip tapping while you're on the date, and it'll help calm you down. It'll help you be less nervous, more relaxed. Now, this fingertip tapping is also cool to use in other situations, like a job interview. It would be a great opportunity for this. I find like if you're visiting with a family and you're at the dinner table and starting to get triggered by stuff, you can, again, stick one hand on their table, do this fingertip tapping. There's lots of different contexts in which you can use this fingertip tapping. But in this particular video, it's a great place to use it is on a date. So like I say, you can use it on a first date, you can use it on other dates, you can use it when you're trying to take things to the next level in some way, like you want to have that conversation about whether or not we're going to be exclusive or something like that. Anytime you're going to do something that brings up some anxiety again, you can do this fingertip tapping to help you relax, calm down, and be able to be that way your more natural self. So, fingertip tapping, great tool to use on dates. So I hope this was helpful. And remember that no matter how long you've been trying, finding the love of your life is possible for you. Just have to identify these blocks, clear them, and it opens the way to find your ultimate relationship. Did you like this video? If so, click on the like button below, subscribe to this channel, and spread the love to your friends. And if you have questions about your love life, please submit them in the comments below, and your question just might appear in an upcoming episode of Love Talk Q&A. Also, if you would like to understand the 3 key blocks to finding love and how to attract your soulmate now, sign up for the free Finding the Love You Want mini course. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, and remember, no matter how long you've been trying, you really can have the life and love you long for. This is Stefan Gonick, International Love Coach from FindingTheLoveYouWant.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on Love Talk Q&A.